Hello, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Cynthia Clark, palm reading consultant and soulmate expert. You can find me over at soulmate.support or at palmistry.world. And today I thought it would be fun to show you one of the types of readings that I do for people, and that is a tarot card reading that relates to love and relationships. So, whether you are in a relationship already, we can look at that and we can evaluate all of what's going on in the dynamics of that relationship, or we can take a look at a potential new relationship and we can see what's coming up for you. This is a reading that does include some prediction. Tarot, you can think of that as just a way to connect to the divine. And I use the cards intuitively. I've been doing readings for many, many years now. And I can also tie in palm reading with it as well. That's actually a totally separate reading, however. So if you're interested in a palm reading, we would look at your emotional system and we would read the different aspects of your palm to really learn about what's going on for you and what's your best match. The tarot reading is going to be more in the vein of what does the energy look like right now for you, and then offering you advice to improve things, make it better. What do you need to let go of? Things like that to assist you in making some concrete decisions to guide you in your love life. Okay, so I have a spread that I use called the love spread or looking for love spread, and that just means that we take a series of cards and we pull a certain number of cards, and each different card represents a different aspect of what we're looking for. So when I do a spread, I am looking for specific things in advance before I pull the entire set of cards. So I'm going to take you through a love spread today with a look at someone who is already in a relationship and what advice can we give for him. Today we're going to be using the Golden Tarot deck. It's one of my favorite decks. It's a traditional tarot deck that uses images that are pre-Renaissance images. And it's one that I use very commonly. So we're going to shuffle the deck. We're going to pull 7 cards. And today we are with Patrick, who is interested in learning more about his current relationship. So you can say hello, Pat.
Hello.
And
Beautiful gold on the side of those decks.
yeah, I actually use a whole bunch of different decks depending upon what we are doing. So we're going to just put our energy into the deck, and we're going to cut the deck once. That's just how I do it. And we're going to pull 7 cards. Okay, so the first 7 cards, this is the love spread. Okay, and each card is going to represent a different aspect of your relationship. The first card is going to be your present love situation. Okay, we have the Tower. Now, the Tower can be a pretty scary looking card. As you can see, this poor person is falling off of a building. We have people looking very sad and frightened, and we have an angel up here looking over the whole thing. the building is burning. This is showing a major change. Okay, this is a major arcana card, and but it actually is a very positive card ultimately because it shows a complete transformation. At the top of the card, we see the illumination. Okay, so there's new things that are going to be coming through your relationship. And so the Tower is showing that there's going to be some tearing down of old structures. Oftentimes this can relate to tearing down old relationships, things that you've been holding on to from your past. And we're going to be coming out the other side into new awareness, new enlightenment. And that's ultimately what the Tower card is showing. Okay, does that make sense to you, Patrick?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything you feel you're letting go of right now?
Yes. Denial
Okay.
and self-worth.
Okay, well, that's the Tower then. Okay, so the second card we're going to look at is representing you and how your partner views you. And we get the Page of Swords. Okay, so this is actually kind of a funny little card. We've got this, looks like a cow jumping over this person, and we have a butterfly over here, and a young man holding a sword. Okay, so the Page of Swords, in fact, all of the swords suit represents intellect. So your partner sees you as somebody who comes up with really good ideas. To me, this is showing like new ideas coming into the realm. And you are definitely, the page is representing youthful energy. So she sees you as somebody who's young and vibrant and very quick. Okay, Page of Swords is a very quick-witted person. Okay. And ultimately really fun because, you know, we've got this butterfly over here. So I think she feels that you have helped her transform into something new. So does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. And the next card we're going to look at is your partner card. So how do you view your partner? And we have the Three of Cups. Okay, the Three of Cups is a emotional card. You view her as your best friend, looks like. And she is somebody who is emotional and sensitive, somebody to celebrate with. Looks like she likes dogs. We have a cute little dog here in the picture.
That's a good idea.
And she's also fairly innocent. So you view her as someone who is innocent and trusting, but also ultimately somebody that you can trust and be friends with. So she's not just a partner; she's also a friend. Okay, does that sound accurate to you?
Yes.
Okay. So our next card, moving on, is going to be looking at your immediate future with your relationship. Okay, and we're getting the Knight of Swords. Okay, this is an interesting card. The Knights often represent something is happening, something is going on. There's an action orientation accompanying the Knights. You know, like the Page and the Knights, like these don't always represent people. They can also represent events. So in this case, this is representing an event. And the event is, well, look at this. We've got the Dragon Slayer. Okay, we've got a dragon down here at the bottom of the card. We've got this beautiful knight who's holding up his sword in triumph. And so it looks to me like the immediate future is going to be some sort of swift action. And I would view this as a positive action. It requires attention, but it's going to be good. And it's cutting through like the junk. Okay, so when you think about we're slaying the dragon, it's like, let's slay all of the demons in our lives to move forward so we can be happier. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so
something to look forward to, but it also gives you the attention that you need to really ask yourself, okay, what needs to tear away, what needs to be cut down, and ultimately on the other side is going to be something really good. Okay? All right, so the next card, number 5, is down here. This is, what do you need to work on, Patrick, in order to make your relationship even better? We're getting the Queen of Cups. You need to get in touch with your feminine side. And the Queen of Cups is about, she's a beautiful, gentle queen. She's emotional. You need to get in touch with your emotional side. A lot of men have trouble with this, by the way. They sometimes don't see their, allow themselves to be vulnerable, that sort of thing. But this queen is definitely, she wants you to be gentle on yourself. She wants you to love yourself. She wants you to be able to receive, because the queen she's a receiver. When you think about, how like feminine energy plays out, it's about receiving and that sort of thing. So I would say pay attention to your feelings, be nicer to yourself, be gentler with yourself, and ask yourself, what is it that you need in the relationship in order to feel happy and fulfilled? Okay?
All right, sounds like a good plan.
Okay. So the next card is, what does your partner need to work on? We're getting the Inverted Magician. This is our first card coming in inverted. And I am one of those people who does read inverts, okay? So when the card is upside down versus when the card is upright. So in this case, the Magician can be, it's a powerful card. It has to do with manifesting. Okay, so she needs to work on actually figuring out what it is that she wants to create in her life. Okay, so it feels to me like there's a little bit of an imbalance in terms of just knowing. Maybe she can't see the whole big picture and how everything fits together. Like I see like little pieces of a puzzle. Like you can see in this card, we have different parts. Okay, we've got different. Actually, I think they look like animals. If we look at them upright, we've got all sorts of things going on. And we've also got this infinity symbol above his head, which is representing wisdom, the universal wisdom. So she is having trouble seeing the big picture and determining which pieces of the puzzle actually fit together in order to make the relationship the best it can be. Okay?
All right.
So that's her advice. Moving on to the last card. This is a future card. Now, I like to stress to people, okay, I do not, I do make predictions, but I make them with a grain of salt, meaning that the future is not 100% set, especially if we're looking farther out into the future, because based upon all the choices that you make from the reading that we just did, can alter this final card. Okay, so the future card is really there to guide you in a direction, but it can absolutely change and be changed based upon the choices that you make. So if you're not working on things, if you're not trying to make improvements, then your future is going to be more of a predictable future. But if you want to create your future, you actually need to figure out what you need to do to change it. Okay, the card coming up is the inverted Ace of Swords. Now, aces are powerful cards. They represent the highest realm of the suit. Okay, so in this case, we've got the swords coming up. And this is showing a challenge in thinking. Okay, so again, swords are thoughts. Okay, and we've got lots of thought cards in this whole spread. So it's saying it's time to really think about your future. What is it that you want? Here's that butterfly again too, by the way. So I would say in the, at least in the potential future that we're seeing, there's a little bit of thought that needs to be restructured. Okay, so take a look at limiting beliefs, take a look at, what kind of challenging thoughts you're having. This could relate to worries. What do you worry about? What keeps you up at night? What are you still holding on to from your past? Those things need to be let go. They need to be cut. Okay, the sword needs to cut it away. And you can call upon assistance for that. There's different ways to do that. But those thoughts need to go. Okay, and when they do go, there can be a beautiful, again, we go back to what is our present love situation, the tower. The positive side past the tower is we get rid of these yucky thoughts and we have illumination on the other side. Okay, so this is your love spread reading. Does this all make sense to you, Patrick?
Yes, it does. Seems like I have some work to be done, but I have some positive things that have been done.
Absolutely. And ultimately, readings are all about getting you into a good space and helping you understand what needs to, what do you need to do to make it better.
It reaffirms me on my relationship I'm in right now, of how good it is and how special it is and how lucky I am to have it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you feel that way. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.